You're a little bit. Hi, Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, you get a special badge now. Hi, Alex. Welcome. Hi, Edie. How are you? Oh, you're the quiet ones today. Who's talking? Daniel?
Bill. You can hear.
Oh, Bill. I can hear Bill. Oh, no, I don't think so. I think it was just maybe inspired by trouble, but not any particular place, as far as I know, anyway. It could be just a. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Haven't. Okay. We do have the Budden Library from Oxford as one of our locations, which is modelled like from. I can show you that, and you can have kind of maybe inspire and see how a more real world model comes out in Engage.
Connor, I'm just going to jump out for a second because I'm wondering, is that Daniel who is setting up his avatar that he does the recording? So
it could be our
it seems to be coming back through.
No problem.
So I'll just jump out for a second and I'll be back to you. Okay? I'll just check one.
Dan is. Yeah, no problem.
The host now.
Yeah, I've done that. Just you're gone.
Okay, great. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
No problem. Bye, Trina. Everyone say bye to Trina. Abracadabra, she's gone. So, Alex and Beauty, can you guys hear me or? Right, I can't hear you guys. I don't know if that's on your side. We need a charades option in Engage. Sounds like. Should be coming through. I'm still having some technical issues. Okay, can I have a check on things on our side to make sure. We have a new user. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? I'm Conor. Nice to virtually meet you.
I'm Hamadou. Nice to meet you too.
Very nice. Where are you from?
Yes. I'm from Paris.
Oh, very good. You come across the water to. I'm here in Ireland in our main offices, and I'm a QA engineer in immersive VR education. Is this your first time in Engage?
No, we use Engage since 6 months. No?
Oh, cool. Okay, so you're was on. So we just have a few other guests here where I think we might be having a little mic issue, but some people are not.
Nice to meet you.
We can wave at them all anyway. That's Alex and Judy and Bill is muted over there. This is Trina. Trina's
everyone.
Yeah. This Trina's in our office here as well in thing, which I'm going to actually make sure you have power of the host.
Cool. And we're just gonna mute Daniel because this is a live stream into YouTube at the moment. Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel has been muted. He's just a cameraman. Live stream. I'm famous. Hello, my mom. So I know we're obviously the guys are not sure what's happening with Ting, but if you have any questions or anything, anyone, if you need any information or any demos on it, you can shout out, or if we show you stuff and you have anything you'd like to know, I mean, don't be afraid to shout it out, and we'll try and answer it as best we can.
Okay, I want to know more about the created mod, the mod creation mod.
The content editor, as we call it.
Yeah, it's a content editor.
Yeah. So what I would suggest there is we start to do we're going to start doing weekly events on with our lead animator is Dave McDermott. He's in office, and he's going to actually do live events teaching users how to use it, and all the new features as well are coming down the line, because we're doing it's a 1.0 version at the moment, but we're going to be bringing out a 2.0. But Dave himself, he's kind of the main force behind it as well. He's actually going to be doing weekly classes every week for about an hour on, I think, Thursdays, Trina. I don't know if that's
Thursdays,
yeah.
Okay.
We'll be putting up social media posts about it.
It'll all be done, yeah, exactly, and it'll be on our website and all the thing. And he'll take people through and answer questions and teach them the ways of the content creator. Like for Explore and Engage ourselves, we just do the other side of it, the sessions, the recordings, and stuff like that. Like we don't dip into the content creator there, because there's just so much that it's better to be left in the hands of David. He's the perfect teacher for that, and for sure. But if you have any other questions or anything even about the content creator here, if I can answer them, I definitely I'll definitely do my best to try and answer. And we do have another guest.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Cool.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Where are you from?
From Utah.
Oh, okay. Is this your first time in an Engage?
No, I've been here for a while.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Been trying to participate as much as I can with the summit, but I haven't been able to attend many sessions, so I thought I'd just get in while I have the chance.
Yeah, no, you're always welcome. I'm worried that you know something that we don't, that you've dressed up in in safety gear.
Should I go
That's
take
okay,
that off?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm only joking. But yeah, so do you use Engage much yourself, or for what usage would you have of it, or VR in general?
I haven't found many uses myself, but I want to learn as much as I can, because I know I'll definitely have uses come up.
Cool. Yeah, sure. Well, sure. Hopefully, we can teach you something or inspire you to use the system more, or get some good use out of it. Anyhow. For everyone who doesn't know it, again, this is Trina, and to point, she's our marketing lead here in our Irish offices. So both of us are in Waterford, down in the southeast of Ireland. That's where the home base is. So and we did generally we're doing a couple of these events this week, but generally this is a weekly event that we do, Explore and Engage, where we kind of take people in and answer questions, just explore around a bit, show them stuff. And just generally try to learn and have a bit of fun or whatever comes up, and we can take it from there. So, hello, hi Bill. By the way. Oh, great. Oh, okay, that sounds really helpful. Okay. Oh wow, yeah. Of course, yeah, and then sometimes people, plan to be there and can't make it, so it'll be great if, it's that they can catch up and anything they missed and all. Oh yeah, true. You're like, oh, okay, that sounds really helpful. Thank you, definitely. No, you're right. If that's no problem at all. So I guess like we can just demo some of the things in Engage. Give you guys an opportunity to play around with stuff. So as the host of the room, and Trina is one of our powers as the main host, is I can hand out the different privileges to all the users. So what you should have for everyone is IFX, which is our immersive FX. So it's kind of a database of all the stuff we can kind of bring out, and objects and sound effects and everything. So that's inside your menu, and on top you'll see all the tabs, and there'll be an IFX tab. And when you click on that, you're going to see exactly someone else is quickly learning it. Is you can bring out pterodactyls, and you'll see all pages and pages, and we've got 1,500 plus IFX. With IFX, then, as I'm going to demonstrate with our little bear buddy up here, you can shrink him down to tiny little bear, or you can also stretch him out to be a big, massive bear. So this is the same with all like the objects IFX. So like anything like the toilet, as someone has there, and all they rotate. Now it depends on your device you use, if you're in VR or you're in desktop, on how this you can do. But usually in the VR side, it's the left controller. If you hold in while you're holding the IFX, the trigger, and if you move your hand, you can rotate and turn the object in any way, fashion that you want. Of course, all IFX have what we call a gizmo that gives you kind of more control over it, more to fine tune it. So I'm going to use the gizmo here to just very delicately place the bear so it looks like he's kind of gone a little bit too far. So he's standing on the ground, and that's activated if you point at your IFX. Then you'll see other options, little icons like destroy, share, and gizmo. And gizmo gives you kind of more just slight control over everything to just make it a little bit more accurate when you're placing your objects and all. And you can also use what we call like a snap, so it does actually just snap to the surface and wherever you want to use it. One of the other features then is share. So even though I've pulled out this from my side, it's now what we call a shareable IFX. So I'm going to take it here, and Alex, I can pass this little bear guy all the way over to you. And if you reach into the little thing and your trigger, yeah, perfect. Well done. You get to share and pass it around. And that's an option for everyone, that they can turn on and off their IFX shareable objects. So it's kind of just makes if you want to play around, or you can put out like certain objects, and even say if you have a small class or kids or whatever, you can say, pick up the object that's the answer to this question, like, and they can go over then and say, lean in and pick up specifically whatever one they want. So also what we do then is what we call snapshots, which is the ability to group save all IFX. So what we can do here, I'll give you a quick example, is just going to search the database that we have for. So I have ancient Greece stuff here. So I'm going to say bring in, say I was doing a presentation on ancient Greece. I can put down a couple of statues here. I'm going to put a big pillar because, ancient Greece, a lot of pillars. And obviously someone a bit more artistic than myself. So they could, you could set up the scene to team it out to whatever you want. And we can then go in and save this as what we call a snapshot. I'm just going to save this. Now that the IFX that I've put out have all been saved as one grouped effect. So if I delete off these grease artifacts and I can reload them back in again in the same place, and there you go. So it just saves you time if you do kind of team out something or make up a group of stuff. It's just a quick way of saving and moving. And now instead of picking up one of these IFX individually, I can pick them up and move them all as one object. So it just makes kind of like, setting up, and you can obviously still shrink it down, and you can still make it a shareable thing. So if I'm going to use someone again to, there you go, you can, I'll pass you over, and it's the bubbles here, perfect. And then you can share it and pass it around and move it, or everyone can decorate. And I see we also have hi Tina, we have a new guest just after coming in. How are you? Not sure if you
Good.
can.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, there's no problem. We're just filling in the time. Where are you from?
I'm in Alberta, Canada.
Oh, okay, very nice. You've come a long way then. We're in Ireland. This is we're in the main offices of Immersive VR Education. We're engaged in the main center. Somewhere Trina up on stage here. She's also in the offices here with me.
Hey,
She's our
Tina.
marketing lead. So have you been engaged before, or is this your first time?
Yeah, quite a few times.
Okay, what do you generally use Engage for, or what's your area?
I'm a drama teacher,
Oh, brilliant.
and and I'm hoping to teach students that can't get to a classroom that have disabilities,
Perfect.
and give them a bit of drama because that's something usually they don't get because of their disability. So
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's one big part of where Engage kind of came from, is to open up education and all, and training for everyone around the world, no matter where you are, like, and equal opportunities in that sense, like. So I mean, I was saying to everyone before you came in, I'm just teaching how to use IFX and all, but this is just a very casual kind of thing. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to demo, or just shout out and ask, and we'll do our best to answer it, or at least try and get you an answer if we can. What I'm teaching everyone now at the moment, as you can see, there's a lot of wind and while, is what our IFX system. So you should have, if you what device are you on, Tina, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm on Quest right now. I do have a Rift as well, but
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, okay. So on your Quest, if you open up your menu, you should see a tab at the very top called IFX. And if you click on that, it'll bring you into a database. And it's of all our immersive IFX, immersive FX, I should say. And we've about 1,500 plus of these. And they're not just objects, as you can see. Some of the guys have, they do have lighting effects and winds and all. And basically, you can pull out any of them in a session and create and style and move the session. As we can see, Annie's over here making a little small little structure for himself, which is, and basically you're kind of just limited then to your own imagination, and whatever you can design out of it. And you can see there's light effects, there's sound effects, there's objects, there's dinosaur openings, there's cars that you can climb into and put a chair in and sit around and drive around exactly like that. So again, South Tyrrell is a big imagination, because you just, whatever you need, whatever you want, and you can specifically like team a different location to something if you want. That's what I was demoing with the guys over here. It's kind of Greek architecture if you wanted to build out something to give it, or you could just have it like animal themed or whatever, and just kind of turn all the locations into something that suited your needs or whatever. But from a teaching like drama inside, I mean, this is probably the perfect place, because this is our theater hall. So actually, what we have, and it's something that we're starting to put into a lot of locations in Engage, is more interactive stuff. So all hidden over behind here is we do have some controls for the stage, like, so I'm going to just use some of them now. I'm going to close out the curtains here, or we can change I'm going to hide behind the curtains. So you can change the light system in here. So you want a bit more darker. You can bring down things if you want to place. So we do have media controls in here as well, which you can access on YouTube, and you can bring up like different videos and such, or even backgrounds or whatever YouTube has if you wanted. Like, you could. I'm just going to put on a quick video wherever the first came in the top of my list there. So that'll start to play. It's there you go. There's an actor himself, Elijah Wood. So even if you wanted to do a presentation in here, you could do it in all but things. So we also, I don't know if anyone's noticed, there's this door unlocked over here, and this brings you all the way back up into the booth. right up here, and all the controls. So it's kind of like a producer room. So you go up there then, and you'll have obviously you have a good view of the stage, but you'll also have access to all the buttons and interactive things. You can start opening the curtains on time, and if someone was doing their presentation and stuff, you'd be a lot easier for as I talk, say someone else is doing all the things. So guys, if you whoever's up there, you can smash and play with the buttons there if you want to just change different things. Feel free, and you will see the effects that happen here. But they're also, as I said, in behind the curtains here. So feel free to, if you want, even just have a poke around and look. You don't need to be seated or or not. Don't feel that like wander around, because no matter where you go.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was production aspects as well. I thought, like for acting and whatever, I thought the theater would be pretty good, but I didn't realize there was so many production like lights and.
Well, this is yeah. No, when we put in the theater, it was a case of like, how can we make it, a little better, more interactive, open it to more users and stuff. So the idea was then to come up with like put in the curtains, because the curtains were kind of here when we started, and we're like, no, let's make them interactive and let's make it more entertaining, because saying it is a theater, but also it can, as I said, doubles for a presentation hall. But have some maybe wannabe actors here in the studio, so you can come in and do your one-man show and record it. And the good news for me and my badly acted one-man show is stuff like force seating is something that coming in, so you're able to force all your friends into their seats and stay there while you listen to your act and your play. But that's coming down in an update for our next release thing. So, but these are kind of things like the production values and options are something that will be adding to more scenes and stuff as we introduce like scenes and locations and all, to give users more usability and kind of get the most they can out of the scene, not just to have it as like just one specific thing, as again, it's like the IFX, it would be left to your own imagination, or however you can use it, it can be used, and I mean the great thing about VR then as well is like you can be inside. I'm going to just quickly check my thing, and you can suddenly just, you can make it rain. So it's suddenly, you can do a different scene altogether, or I don't know if anyone has any great Hollywood scenes in the rain or singing in the rain or something, but it just changes everything completely, and that's just the power of VR, suddenly make it a completely different. It brings the kind of the outside inside, So then also the great thing I'm going to show. So I'm just going to. So as host, then I have a lot of control, say more so than the average user. As I was saying earlier to everyone, I've also, as you can see over Trina's head, she also has host, and that's an option then I can give. And so I'm just going to quickly go to Trina and just again, just remove her host, so she's lost all the powers that she just had, and then it's just as quick as going in again and re-adding her back as co-host. I'm just going to delete off some of this stuff, and I'm going to simply do what we call one of our recordings. So I'm just going to so basically what I've done there now is I set a recording. So what the recordings do is I've set it just to myself. So now it can be set to every user in the room and IFX and all, but it's just going to pick me up as I walk up and down a stage. So if I am doing a presentation, or if I am maybe rehearsing for a play on specific needs, like the recording, then it'll capture all my movement. If I bring out an IFX, which the brain, if you wanted to do something on lecture on that, you can bring it out and practice, or have it rain or again or what. I'm going to delete that again, and then I'm going to stop my recording, and I'm going to save it. I go back into my menu, and I'm going to load it up. So now it can be set to every user in the room and IFX and all, but it's just going to pick me up as I walk up and down a stage. So if I am doing a presentation, or if I am maybe rehearsing for a play on. Okay, I presume everyone can see the second Conor, yeah?
Yep.
So it just records everything and all your movement. And that was just set now specifically to me. But as I said, you can record every user in a room, and it becomes even a handy tool. Or even if you're like a teacher and you're doing a presentation or you're teaching a class where it's kind of like something that you oh, there we go, let's run. The it's something that you're commonly doing, or a class that you're commonly, something small. It's just kind of a handier that you can record it and then just play it back nice and handy. And then even for students, like you can hand out these recordings, like so if instead of potentially taking notes or something, you can hand out the recording, and they can go in and they can just sit here and watch, and they can play it, and they can pause it, and they go, okay, maybe I don't understand that, just rewind back there again. And it's they're more interactive in what's going on. It's not just like trying to read your notes and remember what someone said or how they said it, or because I suppose as well a lot of communication is more than just the words. It's how you teach, and how teachers are more engaged in it, so it's just a powerful tool. And again, like everything else in here, it's only limited by how you think and what you can use it, and then it's always nice to have an extra little buddy, in the room. So if you want, we can show you some other locations. We can just take you, so it doesn't necessarily, you can do a play or something or teach drama, but it doesn't have to be set in the theater. We have a wide range of locations. So I'm going to just load in something new. So we're all just going to fade out for a second or two, and then we're going to load back into a new room. So we're going to hopefully see you in a second or two. We're come down, and then so you can go over here, and everyone can see here, and you can watch and play, and the recordings and everything work the same again. And it's just another option on the power of VR and engage, what we here offering in Engage, so the seats work by teleportation. So if anyone's not used to that's on your right hand. It's the A button, or on the Quest. Yeah, perfect. And you point into the seat, and you move over to, now I've made that a little big, so it's probably a little off scale wise. So I can shrink it down, and you come a bit more. Here you go, perfect. You can sit and hang out. So and that can hold, and you can bring in as many as these. You can bring in another few and have a whole big audience and stuff. And it's just, again, whatever your need may be, Any questions, or anyone have anything? Okay. So this is just one of the random locations. Again, we do try to have eye effects for everything. So as you can see, like the fish, the whales and stuff, they suit all the locations, and it just really helps to bring different things to life and all, But we'll jump again if everyone is okay with that, and we move on to one of our other locations. One of the more personal favorite of mine is the moon base, we call it, and I am going to load that in now, and that will just take a second. It'll the same again. We just all load out, and then we'll all be brought on in together. Cool. I think we're all here. So this is what we call the moon base. The reason why this is one of my favorite locations is whenever everyone, if you head out this specific door here, we'll all get brought out on actually onto the moon surface, and
Okay. Well, then that's fine.
if you follow that out there,
Then.
up out here on the moon, with all our astronaut suits on as well, so we wouldn't abandon you to walk around the moon surface without the proper gear and all, you know. And just the door there that we came in, you can come in and out of the moon base then, and it's kind of like it's a great way of like putting teams together, groups together, and like hanging out doing different stuff and all, like. So we again, we try to, like, you know, make it interesting, educational, and fun as well, like, you know. So and some like companies I've heard, they come out here and they like to come to the moon base and come out here and just kind of wander around for inspiration, kind of, you know, brainstorm stuff, and you know, just to kind of take their minds out of the everyday life, like, and just play around, just to kind of get the creative juices going, like, you know. It kind of really as I say to everyone, you don't expect to be standing and walking around the moon this morning when you woke up, like, yeah. So it's really good. Okay. What else? So what I'm going to do then is so for where's the hold on. So for anyone interested in the content creator, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that has been made through the content creator by our in-house team of animators and modelers and everyone kind of coming together, and this will just be a small example of like the power of how a class, how stuff can be done and worked on afterwards in the content creator to kind of add a little bit more to just more than make it more than a presentation, like. So we're going to load in there now as well. We're going to do so we'll do exploring Venus. So again, we're just going to load out and we're going to pop in, and this is saying to one of the lads earlier, the Bodleian Library, but I'll talk more about that when we get in. So, okay, so I think we're just, yeah, perfect. Tina's doing as well. So guys, this is part of the Oxford in England. It's what we call the Bodleian Library. It's been modelled from the real life place, and it's just a small area of Oxford. But it just gives you a show of how, if you wanted to turn a real life world or real life place into VR, like that, the possibilities of it. Like, now it depends if you're on Quest or if you're on PC. It's probably going to look a little bit different, just compare how it's optimized for the less spec powered devices, like. But in general, this is one of my favorite. I actually call this the Harry Potter library. It just gives me the vibes of the Great Hall, or some place that, you know, the Chamber of Secrets is around here somewhere. But so I'm going to load in if I can, second now. So we did actually some teaming up with some Oxford professors, and they actually recorded the content for Engage, and then we took their presentation, and they were motion captured, so you'll see them moving around and walking, and the more so than say just my arms or legs and all. And then we added we spiced it up a little bit with using our content creator. So that should going to load in.
Physics. I'm a scientist, and today about
So you can see as Colin was recording, you can see him moving around, and kind of he has a more
Venus
motion
is
tracking on. So if it is something maybe,
which is nature's name. You hear a lot about missions, so I'm going to try to. This is actually really.
So again, this is like a video, like a YouTuber, and it can be paused and fast forward and rewound. His presentation, then it kind of plays his PowerPoint or whatever plays up here in the background. You should see that, and the IFX will start to appear, and they're kind of like interacting or reacting to what he says, and it just kind of gives it that better feedback, gets you more immersed in the content, like, and it helps you to retain more of what's going on. So I'll just pause that again. So it is like a video. If something is like, I don't understand that, I want to rewind, or holy, that's maybe really interesting, and let me hear that again, kind of thing. So I'm just going to play it for a little bit and just kind of give you an idea. And as I said, he was recorded in what we call motion capture, and then a lot of the effects and all were added in afterwards, like, you know, and that's what the content creator and the new version are really going to aim for, is to spice up someone's stuff and really give it that extra jazz. So I'm going to just play now and just let it
in
roll.
place, has a lot, how Earth and so on. So what I'll talk about is, first I'll tell you why and so on, and then what was, and then find out about it in future possibilities. There. Venus and the Earth basically like sibling planets. They're formed around the same material. The bulk. They're very different. For example, from outer planets, which are gas proper surfaces. And Mars are rocky planets, and by many of the same processes: geology, volcanism, and so on.
Just going to pause that again so you can see just how adding a few extra little high effects and a few extra little details, you can even like see all the information about Mars, and just how suddenly you can add a little bit extra to a lesson, and for those who would like to learn a little bit more, like that the opportunity is there to kind of, you know, pause and read a bit about you can go into the depth, and then that's something up to the educators themselves if they wanted to add it in. Obviously it doesn't need to be in, but it gives you another level is there for anyone that would like to pop in. So I'm just going to play a little bit more in the call.
So we have a lot studying them. Quite different. So this plot on the right shows you the surface. So Earth have mainly young surface because they're shaped by active. On the Earth, there's a lot of tectonics, plate overturning, also biological. Whereas Mercury and Mars, older surfaces, technology has stopped part in terms of the processes. So you've got to learn.
Okay, so I won't go too far. Let them wander, and all these are available for all users in our content section inside Engage, and you can put them on in VR, your Quest, or any VR headset, and pop in, or if you just like to kind of just sit down and watch it on your screen on your computer, like it still runs in what we call desktop mode, or you know, on your screen, and you can just watch it and review it and all. And that's everything in content in Engage. It'll all work in VR, but it also works on your laptop and your desktop, obviously limited to the power of your device as well, you know. And so there is a couple of these if Venus and it wouldn't be an interest, like we have some about Malaysian cats and ancient manuscripts, and you know, so hopefully there's something in there that would catch your eye, like, you know. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move location again. I'm going to move us into the lecture hall, and we'll see you there in a second or two. So I brought you here for just a couple of reasons. One is, like, this is the lecture hall, so a lot of people use this for creating their lectures and all, and their PowerPoints. And part of Engage is we do have a connection that you can bring up your OneDrive and connect to it, or you can get your Google Drive, and you know, you have a web browser, you can log into your different accounts. Just mine looking for my verification on my phone, just for security. We're also, so if you have your PowerPoints and all connected through this, it's a way of just bringing up for your class and all. But also in here you have the ability to interact with the board. So not that I'd be the best at drawing, but you can draw and manipulate, or you know, if you're a teacher or and that's available to all VR users. So anyone that kind of steps up to the board, you're going to notice that the controller changes in your hand, and you have different colors and different options. And we're actually hoping we're doing a big release in the next month or two, and we're bringing in a new whiteboard. So there's going to be a lot more options and how to draw, put text on, and just make it a lot more interactive and make it far more great for users, like, you know. But it's a nice little feature, you know. Even if you had like a load of kids and bring them in and kind of get them up to the board and give them certain random topic and say who can draw the best Sonic or Father or Christmas or or something like that, or just small things like that. But so it's just a nice feature, and this is the option, and then it will be available in other locations as well, not just the lecture hall. But there's another. Yeah, at the moment it is like just it draws on the board itself, say, like more so than say like Tiltbrush or something where you can draw 3D and all that, like because we just find that for teachers and educators like that as well. But it's 3D is something that we hope to get down and have something in the future as well. Like, but there is another reason I did bring in here. So we also have activities we like to do, and I'm just going to load this in right now, and you should see, if all going well, a skeleton, ghost skeleton has appeared here, and a table full of objects has appeared down here. So you can come down and you can interact with these pieces, and so I can pass it over, say, to Tina. If you grab it with your trigger, perfect. And if you come over here then and you can place it in, so it's a great way to learn together and collaborate together. And it's just, again, another kind of, oh, there we go. So, if you have a class in here and everyone wants to learn, and, oh, sorry, I hit my desk on this side. So it's just, again, it's another, like, the power of VR and being able to, from everyone, I mean, we're all over, scattered around. We have Ireland and Canada, and we did have Paris, but I think it's gone. I mean, so it doesn't matter where you are, like, you can kind of, like, I'm able to pick up and I'm able to hand over a specific bone or a foot or whatever, and we can all drop that in. We can all work together and hopefully everything goes to plan. At the last hand here.
Like a bone following you.
Stuck in your hand. I don't think. Yeah, I think what happened was people.
Cheers.
But
no.
sorry. But it's just a way of, like, a small little kind of example of everyone working together and failing together. But it's just, did I walk into someone there? Sorry. It's just an opportunity, to collaborate on different things on projects and certain things, like, and get people working together. And again, as you're saying, Tina, like, it's not just anyone from around the world can jump in, and you can work together, and you can teach together, and you can collaborate together. Like. So also, and I don't have any on thing, but what we do is we have what we call forums. So we have the ability to hand out a quiz and to users. So you can make up your quizzes if on the website or even inside Engage. And I'm going to deliver this to everyone in the room, and you should have a quiz appear, load up in front of you on your menu, and you can answer questions, and that's feedback. Then it comes straight back to me as the host, as the user of the room, in the forums, and you get basically instantaneous feedback. Like, you can check the results straight away of all the answers to students, or if it's a training thing and you want a certain, like, 60% is the pass before they can get their certificate or move on to the next round. Like, it's a really quick and a handy way, and these can always be edited afterwards and updated, and you can as well, you can be selective of you can just hand it out to certain people in the class if they're ready to take the test, if people need more time to review stuff, or it doesn't necessarily, you're forcing it on everyone, or it depends again on your needs. Like, and there's a lot of options in the quizzes. They can be just set out to be like what we have here is multi-choice, but you can set out like a paragraph, so if they need to write out an example or whatever. And again, these can all be done from our website, appengage.vr.io, and you can go in and set up your own quizzes and write them out, and you can edit them as much as you go on, all, like, so it's just a handy way of if you're doing testing or training or teaching, to kind of just give everyone, even just to make sure they get a kind of a recap of how everything else went, like, you know. Thinking. So another thing then, so I was saying earlier, we have like slides, and you can bring in your PowerPoints, and you can load up the web and Google that, and so you can check something live as a class or anyone working together and check stuff live. But also you have the ability to there we go. That's my desktop here in Ireland. So this is the Oculus menu in the background, and down here you can actually see Engage running, so you can kind of see from my point of view of what I'm looking at, because it is running live on my thing. I could even change. I have dual monitors here in work, so I can flip between them and change to whatever I want. So if you just wanted to share something with someone around the world, or if it's a meeting, sometimes you're in a meeting and you've got the update there that hasn't been sent out, or you're just working on an example, or putting a bit of polish to a design. Like it's it's very easy to get instantaneous feedback straight away on something, like, and it makes it a very powerful collaboration tool. Like, it's very easy just to load in, Engage, and in a room, and let people jump in and jump out during the day if you're working on something. Like, I can also, and even inside here now, as you can see, the mouse is going up and down. So as you can see, also my hand is moving up and down on my avatar, and that's because I can control. So if I click on the store here, I won't buy it, because work will be very unhappy with me spending their money. But everything, like, so all our stuff and some of our own stuff, like Berlin Blitz, Apollo 11, Titanic or HRVR, I should say. You can see Engage tickling down and loading in the background there as well. Full control of your own computer. If you're doing a meeting or something, you're, oh, I forgot to upload my presentation, or I forgot to bring it with me, but instead of having to pop out, take off the headset, you can quickly go in and bring it up here and load it up and share it with everyone in the room. And also we do have a privacy feature as well, so I'm going to click on it. So the screen here has suddenly gone blank with our Engage logo on the bottom, but it means if I want to log into something, or if I want to do something, then I'm not sharing with everybody in the room, and it's literally just a matter of a little tick box down in the corner, just to bring up or bring down. It's just for security and privacy reasons that's in, obviously. And that's just another quick example of just some of the stuff that we do have here. I'm just going to stop sharing. Okay, and again, you do have access to YouTube and videos and stuff like that. And what else we do? Another one we're very proud of. I'm going to move location again, for probably our time is coming near the end, but what we call the 360 room, so we can play some 360 videos. So I'm going to quickly go in there. I'm going to show you that, and then we can, any questions, and then we can finish up. So hopefully Steve's in a second. Okay, guys, so welcome again. There's a little board here at the moment. It's just only I can see as the host of the room, see what's on it. So I'm going to just quickly throw on a video, and hopefully everything should go grand. Might take a sec just to load for people. And everything going well. We should be taken to the Angel Falls in Venezuela, which is the highest waterfall in the world. So this was probably shot from a drone that they flew up, and it's a 360 camera, so should be loading in all around you. And it's a really, I really like this experience myself. It's apart from actually being in the Angel Falls and looking around, I mean, this really is the next best thing. But even if you are there, you're not going to be hovering like 300 feet in the air looking at it from this view. Like, so it does give you a very different perspective than even people who have been to the falls that they would get anywhere. Like, and YouTube and all are full of like hundreds of these different 360 videos of different things. And I mean, it can be this to nature, it could be a roller coaster, or what I mean. So it's just, again, it's an amazing little feature to have. And again, this is a video, so I have actually turned down volume, so I can turn it up a little bit. But but I can pause this video. I can skip forward a little bit, and we can go up way up above the clouds. And again, as you see, you're learning as you go. But I'm going to stay quiet for a second, and hopefully let this speak for itself. Just hope nobody's afraid of heights.
You won't be able to find a single undamaged tree on the top of the plateau due to constant lightings heated during thunders.
See the helicopter shadow of actually how this was shot. You look down onto the ground below you, you see the shadow.
The Angel waterfall in Venezuela was made by the Churón River, which literally falls over the edge of the Ollantaytambo Table Mountain. The waterfall was opened for tourists in 1990.
So I'm going to stop there, guys. I'm going to unload that video, so we're back in the what we call the 360 room. And again, this is all connected up to YouTube, so any 360 video on YouTube will load into here, and it becomes a great immersive experience. So that's kind of it, guys. Unless anyone has any particular questions or anything else you'd like to know or anything, feel free to shout out. This is, I saying this is, we've been in a couple of these for educators in VR this week, but this is actually a weekly event we do here from the offices in Ireland. Thank you. And so we're here every week. So even if you kind of feel free to pop in for 5-10 minutes if you had a question, or if you're using some sort of feature that you weren't sure about, or you'd like to see what more we could do with it. I mean, you can always just jump in, we can show you, we can, even if you leave us with a question, we'll try and get an answer for you to the following week. But it's every Wednesday from 3 to 4, that's GMT, our time here in Europe. So that'll all be on our website. If you have an engaged profile, which you do to come in here, that's in the events pages, and on that as well, you'll see the events for the educators in VR. It will be up in that and through our social media posts, thanks to the great work Trina's been doing all week. So other than that, unless anyone has anything else, then we'll call it a day. And I wish you all a nice Friday and a good weekend, guys. Thanks very much for coming, and take care. Bye bye.